ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, the 4th chapter, which I am revising in great detail. I regret and apologize that there was a break of 2 Sundays. And what happens is the continuity and flow of the ideas because of the study gets disrupted. I'm very sorry for that, but nothing is lost. Revision is always good because revision helps us to create a deep samskara, a deep impression in our mind. Now, we have read shloka number 24 in detail, and we introduced ourselves to the shloka number 25. From shloka number 25 to verse or shloka number 33 is a very, very archaic procedure. A procedure which was very much common, easily understood in the ages when the Gita was recited or written down. People were quite at home with these ideas. Thousands of years have passed, and those ideas, because of lack of constant culture, has become obsolete, and we refuse to take it in our stride. My efforts will be to interpret these shlokas with an attitude with which we so-called modern people are used to. That will be my effort. For that purpose, I will crave your indulgence and patience to understand the inner meaning of these shlokas. As you know, in our Sanskrit, especially during the study of the scriptures, there are 2 very important words. What are they? One is Bhakyartha and the other is Lakshartha. Bhakyartha means a literal word-to-word translation and to construct a correct sentence out of it. And you get the meaning of the words thereby. Meaning of the words, ultimately the meaning of the sentence, and you expose yourself to the idea emanating from the meaning and understanding, the Bhakyartha or the literal sentence. And what is Lakshartha? A scripture is written down or a book is written down with a particular idea of the author. The author wants to convey some ideas to you through the vehicle or the avenue or medium of language. That idea is in the author's mind. And through the words and the meanings, it is our responsibility, it is our duty, it is our source of educating ourselves, by means of which, through those words and ideas, we try to find out what the author wants to convey. That is known as lakshartha. That is, to try and understand rationally, intellectually, and as it is a scripture, you assimilate that idea, which is the intention of the author, arrive through the literal meaning of the words. You identify yourself by assimilating and absorbing intention of the author. That is lakshartha. Laksha artha, that is the goal. The goal is to identify and understand properly, correctly, according to author, what he is driving at. If you keep these two words, bhakyartha and its meaning, lakshartha and its meaning, the study of the scripture will be extremely easy. So now, because these slokas from 25th, why 25th, let us say 24th to 33, these 10 shlokas are really now, as of today, very, very, very archaic, and therefore it is obsolete, and therefore we just skip over it. But please don't do that. Try to understand the lakshartha, the inner meaning of the verses. So this is an introduction to these 10 shlokas. The second aspect of the introduction. The ultimate goal of spiritual life is to know my true original nature. Answer to this very pertinent question, ko aham asmi, ka aham asmi, who am I? I is paramount to me. My whole being rotates around the awareness of my amness, my I, and this I is identifying with self, with infinite number of things. And we find those points of identity, they are changeful. They are not everlasting. I was a newborn baby. I became a child. I became aware and I started expressing, I want this, I want that, and made my mother's life miserable. I. And that I sticks on with me when one foot is in the grave. Uninterrupted, everlasting awareness of my amness. This I is ever existing with me during my span of life. But this I keeps on identifying itself with I am rich, I am poor, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am this, I am that. An endless flow of identification is flowing. So, I am puzzled to answer the question, who am I? Ko aham asmi. Koham asmi. Ka aham asmi. Who am I? Who is this first person singular number of all grammars. Who is he? So, I don't find an answer because whichever I say I am this, after a span of time, that has gone. So, I am. So, I was happy, I am unhappy. I was happy, I am now happy. So who am I? Happy or sadness, misery, unhappiness? I can't identify myself. So what happens? Let us try to find out, does anybody has an answer? So we go to the scriptures. The statement of people who are realized souls, that is A, and B is statement of incarnations. God incarnates himself, a normal human being, but lives such an illuminating life that it spreads light into the dark corners of our understanding. Let us see what they have to say. To cut a long story short, we will come to that in the due course of discussion. As and when I have an occasion, I will definitely share it with you. As for today, as of now, to cut a long story short, the realized souls say, those who have found out an answer to this question, Ko Hamasmi, the teacher says, the avatara says, the Atmagya, Brahmagya, Satya Drashta Purusha say, thou art that, tat tvam asi. Answer to this, kah aham asmi, who am I? You are that. Tvam, you, asi, tat, you are that. What is that? That is the sublime entity which is Nitya, Niranjana, Chirantana, Saswata, Satya. These are the words, very properly chosen. Nitya, everlasting. Time and time cannot curtail its existence. It is beyond time. Everlasting, eternal, in time. Niranjana, it has no adulteration. It is absolutely unpolluted, pure. Chirantana, you are aware of it all the time. Satya, the truth, the reality. That is what you are. That is, Tvam Padartha is Jivatma. I am. What I am today is Tvam. And Tat is the concept of Brahman. Thou art that means, hey Jivatma, educate yourself so that you can be aware, experience your true original nature. That true original nature is not describable, is not definable, but it is experienceable. That is, I am experiencing I am. I am aware, I exist. who this I is. This I, in its absolute analysis, the eternal, the infinite, beyond time, space, beyond causation, absolutely pure, unpolluted, absolute. That is what is your true original nature. Who says that? A person who has gone through this long procedure of discipline, and through that procedure of discipline, he has attained this experience, and he says, "Thou art that." This is the conclusion, the first part of the introduction. Second part is, if you say, "Thou art that," could you kindly tell me how to achieve that? If you tell me you are that, it is your responsibility to teach me who am I, what am I. It is your responsibility, and I beg of you to teach me. I am Sharanagato Aham. I am absolutely at your feet, begging of you, please kindly teach me, and I listen to your words of advice and discipline. So they come forward and they say, you know what you have to do? All that you need to do is, through a devoted, dedicated, determined discipline. You have to disidentify yourself with what you are not. You have to disidentify yourself with what you are not. So, the process starts. I am not this. Now, how do I convince myself I am not this? I am not this body-mind complex. How do I convince myself? My life moves in this worldly manner. Slowly, I am taught to withdraw myself. And what is the procedure? Procedure is not a negative process of withdrawal, but the positive process of what I am. Please try to remember this. It makes a sadhaka's life very, very, very easy. I am not is a procedure. But what am I? If I positively think of myself as what am I, who am I have no space in me to identify myself with what I am not, with which I am absolutely attached and involved. This is the process. Now, that very process is being highlighted in these 10 shlokas. In a very archaic manner, obsolete, because the culture has disappeared in point of time. So now, in point of time, the remnant of those cultures partially are still available in today's world. What are those? The concept of yajna, oblation to sacred fire. Yajna. Yajna has many meanings. Let us first take it in the most commonsensical meaning of fire worship. What is that? Strict, devoted, disciplined, determined procedure. Homam, yajnam homam. We all know. What is that? We have to sit facing in a particular direction with the fire in front of me, and then we draw certain figures which symbolizes and signifies certain things. No compromise. What is that? Determined disciplining yourself. Then you burn the fire. Arrange the timber, the fuel in a particular manner. Lit up the fire from a particular corner. Everything is ordained. What does it mean? Your discipline is being inculcated. You are being disciplined. And with that discipline, you are asked to identify the fire with all purity known as Brahman. Why fire? Why not something else? Because fire has a special capacity to burn away the dirt and dross and the impurities. You smelt gold. You burn away the dirt and etc. from the gold, and pure gold comes out of it. By fire, heat, smelting, call it by any name, but it is heat and fire. You burn that fire and you say, I treat this fire as pure Brahman. And I oblate myself. I put butter, which I have created by the sweat of my brow, that I have identified myself with it. It is my creation, my butter, and I offer it to God. What am I doing? My identity of my own created wealth is being burnt out in the fire. Arpanam Brahma, Havi Brahma, Agni Brahma. Positively, each and every act and deed of yours is preceded by an attitudinal correction. I'm correcting my attitude now. I possess nothing. All that I possess, all that I have, I offer it to fire, which is as pure as Brahman, and all my pollutions and all my adulterated identification, I am giving it to the fire to burn myself pure and clean, unadulterated. How do I come to this conclusion? Brahmaiva tena gantavayam. By this attitude and attitude-motivated activity, I am offering myself to Brahman. How? This activity, the whole flow of life, I am offering to fire to burn me clean and pure so that I can achieve Brahman. Brahmaiva tena gantavayam Brahma karma samadhina. You have to be one with Brahman by performing Karma Yoga as Brahmarpanam Yoga. Brahmarpanam Yajna. Now, having said this in totality, in the remaining 10 shlokas, Sri Krishna will highlight the subtle aspect of Dhyana Yoga, Pranayama Yoga, and all sorts of subsidiary yogas, which means a method of communion with the Absolute. Yoga means a communion with the Absolute. This Jivatma, through this disciplinary procedure, becomes one with Paramatma. Tvam Padartha merges with Tat Padartha. That Padartha means that which is identified by the word Tvam, you, Ko Aham Asmi. That you is now being identified with that which is indescribable but experienceable, attainable, achievable, but not describable. So Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, Brahmagno Brahmanautam, Brahmaivatena Gantabhyam. How? Brahma Karma Samadhina. That is, you integrate your attitude in such a manner that you are constantly aware of Brahman. Constant awareness of Brahman is a positive attitude. And 90 is a subsidiary, secondary, additional effort. I am that. As because I am that, I am not this, I am not this, I am not. This is how we should modulate our thinking as a sadhaka, as a person desirous of reaching that goal. Now, dears, the essential idea, the essential attitude of this integrated attitude is being broken up into various aspects of life. Now let us go a little deep into the concept of Karma Yoga as mentioned archaically in the Gita and as absolutely dilated, developed and made digestible by Swami Vivekananda. Let us now try to understand what is Karma Yoga and how that Karma Yoga is a synonym of Brahmarpanam Yoga. Let me repeat again. We have found out the word Brahmarpanam Yajna or Yoga or Yaga in this shloka. And we have the synonym Karma Yoga. I dare to call it a synonym. They mean the same thing, but looked at from two different perspectives. The tip of the needle is the same. It can be looked at from 360 degrees. And each attitude is different from the other. Now, what is Karma Yoga? That is, all the activity that the Jivatma, I am, Aham Asmi, all the activity that the Jivatma is performing naturally, normally, automatically in this life. Right from breathing to its heart throb, to playing games or professional activity, infinite types of activity for whole humankind. Karma Yoga encompasses, encircles, brings within itself the whole gamut of universal activity by people living in this universe. Please broaden yourself up. You are a dot, a point in that whole. And the whole is an infinite magnification of your problems. So Karma Yoga means I am alive. I am aware I am alive because I breathe, because I am aware, Chetana, I am aware of all that is happening. And somehow or other, I am motivated to receive my objects or achieve and attain my objects of desire. And the ball starts rolling. I am doing, I am performing. From where? Right from the source of breathing, which is a sign of life, and all activity. That is karma. Karma Yoga teaches you to attitudinally perform all that is to be performed. A human being and his sense of duty are inseparables. So a human being, when he is alive or she is alive, must perform the call of duty. No escape. I do my duty, but I do it in a manner where I get involved. I make myself a victim of pleasure and pain, success and failure, joy and disappointment. That's what I'm doing to myself. Karma Yoga teaches you, you please correct your attitude. Stick on to the axiomatic truth of life. Brahman, the Paramatman, the Divine, the God is everywhere. What is God? That absolute I conceive because of force of habit in a human form with the human qualities, infinitely multiplied. Absolute Brahman, absolute Paramatman, and absolute in name and form and qualities, Bhagavana, Shara Bhaga Sampanna Ishvara. That is an axiomatic truth. I have to first achieve oneness with Ishvara, and after that I have another jump and I merge with the Absolute. How can I do that? All this is rationally understandable. Karma Yoga says you are breathing. You consider one aspect of breathing is exhalation and one aspect is inhalation. Attitudinally, I inhale. I am aware of presence of Brahman. I exhale. That exhalation merges with Brahman. I am taking in Brahman. I am exhaling Brahman. What are you doing? You are saturating your being with the awareness of presence of Brahman. You are saturating tasteless water with crystal sugar drops. This awareness of Brahman, the awareness of presence of Brahman, without being mitigated by time or space or causation. This is a yajna. Inhalation, exhalation. It's a type of yajna. Why? You have converted into Karma Yoga, and that Karma Yoga is nothing else but Brahma Arpanam Yoga. Well, this is one aspect. Let us see another aspect. I have my 5 sense organs. I am using my eyes, my ears, my nose, my tongue, and my skin. And each of them has an object. Respective object. Form is the vision of my eyes. Name is the vision of my concept. Smell, sound, the name, sound, concept. All 5 organs make my life normal. What does Karma Yoga teaches you? You see the chair. You understand what it is, why it is, how it is made. You understand everything of it. Apara Vidya. But uppermost in your mind is, it is. The isness is paramount there. If it is not, and from the other point of view, this chair in point of time will wear and break away. It loses its name, it loses its form, it loses its quality, it loses its utilitarian form. But the broken chair is. Isness is not lost. The name, form, quality, utilitarian value is lost. But the name and form is not lost. Keep that uppermost in your mind. That is, that object now, paramountly, supremely, in a most exalted manner, it is. I am not bothered about anything else. Why? Because it is perishable in time. It is not permanent, it is not eternal. It is perishable in time. My search is to find something which is imperishable in time. This is a yajna. I am concentrating. Samjama agnishu juhati. You will find in the later shlokas. I am giving you the essence as I promised to you from a modern mind in a modern way how to understand the meaning of these very 10 archaic shlokas. So, I have to perform karma yoga, brahmarpanam yoga. Everything is normal with me. Everything is normal with the world. I am living in the world. The first and foremost is the sign of my life is I breathe. While breathing, inhaling and exhaling, I identify that activity of mine with the awareness of presence of Brahman. I am inhaling Brahman. I am exhaling Brahman. Thereby, my personality is being saturated with awareness of Brahman. By example or contrast, a tasteless water is being transformed into a syrup by constantly putting sugar crystals in it. The awareness of presence of the divine every moment of my life is that crystal sugar. So actually, karma yoga, look at this integrated perspective, is converted into Brahmarpanam yoga. Be aware of Brahman. As because that absolute is beyond my eyes, beyond my ears and etc., I have a vague idea through the sound. That is why Shabda, there's a Brahma Sutra, there's a Sutra. Anabritti Shabdat, Anabritti Shabdat. Brahmatma Jnanam Kartabhyam. This is in the Brahma Sutra. Anabritti Shabdat. This Shabda. What is the Shabda? Aham Brahmasmi. I am Atma Brahma. Tattvamasi is an inciter. It initiates you because your guru tells you, thou art that. What is your reaction? I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. I am Brahmasmi. That is it. All right. Let me saturate myself with idea. I am Brahman. I am Brahman, and Brahman is everywhere. But I don't see him. Let me be a little concrete. My concept of God, my Ishtadeva, is everywhere. And this concept I find in the scriptures, in the Upanishad, in Gaudapada Karika. Gaudapada says, what does he say? Galite. Okay, Ahankara Galite, no, not all. Galite Shate Paramatmani. Vigyate Paramatmani. Deha Abhimane Galite. when this body consciousness has absolutely melted away. And where do I go then? Vijnate Paramatmani. There's a other reading. Abhede Paramatmani. Vijnate means Abhede. Vijnate Abhede Paramatmani. Yatra Jatra Manojati. Allow the mind to roam around. You have totally saturated yourself. Tatra Tatra Param Padam Drishyate. You are aware of the presence of the infinite, eternal, immutable Brahman. Wait. Now look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu, in his old age, when he was so full of compassion, he couldn't discern between evil and good. Everything was God to him. God in form. Krishna was his ideal Ishtadev. So when his students, his close companions, the successors, came and complained to him, "Sir, what you are doing? You are harboring the worst criminal and worst riffraff of the society in your fold. How do you think we can survive as an organization with these riffraffs in?" Listen to what Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "What can I do, my children? Jatra jatra netra pade, wherever my eyes fall, tatra tatra, then and there, Krishna spure, I see Krishna everywhere. So how can I sit on judgment? He's everywhere seen, and he's my beloved, my Ishta. What can I do? Please have patience with me. Please forgive me, have compassion on me. Have mercy on me. Don't judge with your yardstick. Don't judge me with your yardstick. I have attained that space where jatra jatra netra pade, tatra tatra Krishna spure." So the end of karma yoga as such, right from your birth to death, when you have been educated on karma yoga, every moment of your life, your attitude has to be corrected in such a manner that every moment of your life, you are aware of the presence of the divine as your own self. Abhede Paramatmani. That there is no distinction now. I am that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma. This is what these shlokas will teach you, the methodology. How in the fire of restraint, Samjamagneshu Juhati, Indriyani, all my sense organs, they are to be put into the flame of Sanjama, and all the Vastu and Vishayan in that ultimate object. That thereby every act and deed of your life, as mentioned there, is nothing else but a yajna. You burn yourself pure in burning fire, awareness of the presence of Brahman as your true original nature. This is, my dear friend, is the secret, the mystery hidden in the next 10 shlokas, which is very obsolete, very archaic, very difficult to understand. But keep this in mind and revise these ideas so that the next shlokas, when I'll teach you or read it to you, you immediately know what is Sri Krishna's Lakshartha is. What does he want us to understand? Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you ever so much.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.